I'm going to tell you a story, and the reason you'll find out why it's titled Ain't I Beautiful when I'm done. But tonight I'm going to tell you a story, and it's really a true story. I'm not going to throw any extra bullshit into it like I usually do. And so I'm going to try not to. But I'm going to tell you a story about a pretty big event that happened in my life. And I haven't always been a massage therapist. Back in the day, I sold cheese. I was in sales, and I sold cheese, and there's a lot of money in cheese. So, in case you guys are all looking for something to do, think about selling cheese. But so I lived in the cities. I had this great job, except for you, Lori Thompson. No selling cheese for you. Okay. I had this great job, and I'd been divorced, and I had been a single mom for about 6.5 years. And I met this Canadian cowboy. At all places, I met him at the windbreak in Fargo, North Dakota. And my life has never been the same. And I met him the day after Thanksgiving in 1998. And we got engaged in January. We got married on the 4th of July. I know, right? So he's from Calgary, Alberta. And after we got married, we planned this big trip. We're going to take this trip, and we're going to go to Calgary, Alberta. They're going to have a wedding reception for us. So my kids are 10 and 12. And we're going to take them this far, as far as Fargo. They're going to stay with my parents. My new husband and I are going to go. And I don't think I'd been to Calgary yet. So it was my first adventure to Calgary. And we got by Alexandria, and we were in a one-car rollover. And some of you may notice this scar on my arm, and I usually tell people I was in a bar fight because it's not typically a story you tell just anybody, but here I am telling all of you. I hate that. It's your fault. So what happened was my husband, who is a truck driver, has driven like hell, 1,000,000 miles or something. He calls himself a PD, which we thought was professional dick, but it's a professional driver. And so we had to get that straightened out right away. So anyway, he got road hypnotized, and it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, and we go in the ditch, and we hit an approach, and we rolled. And my arm went out the window and drug in the dirt, and I broke all the bones in my face. I broke my eye sockets, my nose, my cheekbones. My son broke his collarbone and his ankle. My daughter got a bunch of bruises. Well, the driver gets 3 fucking stitches under his arm. But that's another story. And so anyway, we were taken to Alexandria, and I had a surgery on my arm right away because they were going to amputate it. And my biggest concern, I think back about this now, my biggest concern was I'm not a very big-chested woman, and it's very difficult for me to find a bra that fits right. And they wanted to cut my bra off. Now, my arm is going to be cut off, but I'm really worried about my bra. So we're in the emergency room, and they're trying to get all the dirt and glass out of my arm, and they're also trying to get my bra off around my arm. So anyway, we ended up cutting my bra. That was a pretty big disaster for me, but at the moment, and then a couple days later when I came to, I was like, okay, it was just a bra. But so anyway, so I had surgery, and they cleaned all the dirt and glass out, and then they sent me down back to Minneapolis to the trauma center, North Memorial, which is a great place. If you ever get your face broke to hell, you should go there. So they sent me there, and I had The next day, this plastic surgeon comes, and I have surgery. I have 9 hours of plastic surgery. Didn't do a damn thing to my bra size, but got a pretty nice looking face out of the deal. And so what they did was they took a patch of skin off of my leg and they stapled it onto my arm. And the arm didn't hurt near as bad as the leg. And then they put my face back together with little screws and pieces of titanium. So I do not set off the alarm at the airport, but I would make a great golf club. And so, anyway. I had surgery, and while I was having surgery, I died. And I'm going to tell you this, that prior to this, I was very concerned about, the way I looked, what my hair was like, if my nails were done. I drove a very nice car, had a pretty decent house, and was pretty materialistic. And after this experience, I'm just going to here to tell you that it is true. There is no U-Haul. There's no U-Haul that goes with you to take all your shit with you when you leave here. And that is a true story. So anyway, during the process of my surgery, I was sort of like up in the corner of the room, and I was looking down on all these people scurrying around in the operating room. And I couldn't understand what the deal was, like what was wrong with these people, why were they so flustered? But there were like a lot of people and they were doing their thing. And I looked over and I saw this long tunnel and I saw the light. And I was absolutely perfect. I was all those things that I had worried about before. I looked down and I went, I was absolutely perfect. And I kept looking and I kept seeing the light. And I was getting rather impatient because I was ready to go. The people are still busy scurrying around, and I kept looking. The light was getting closer, but it wasn't close enough for me. And all of a sudden there was this like a pink figure next to me that told me that I wasn't done and I needed to go back. And I was pretty upset about that because over here was that light. And I knew that that was going to be a really great place to go to. And I kept getting this, you're not finished here, you're not done. And so I chose to go back. And I think part of the thing that I think this is a great story for me to tell you tonight because I do what I do today because of that experience. And so when I stand up here and tell you that no one should live in pain, I'm living proof of that. I had a plastic surgeon doctor who believed in alternative health care, who told me to get my ass into somebody and get some body work done because I was extremely broken. And he said, I've fixed you physically, but emotionally and mentally, you're so broken. And so I went to a gal who worked on me. And it was supposed to be a year before I'd be able to be back to my old self. And in 3 months, I was right back at it. And so that's why I'm so passionate about what we do. And I'm so passionate about the fact that people don't have to live in pain. There's so much that can be done. And so that's why ain't I beautiful, right? Because I walk it and I talk it.